Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Wednesday afternoon to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We're in week 10 of our Toronto Mounties franchise. You guys saw in the last episode, we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road 72-0, and Ben Roethlisberger had 8 passing touchdowns in this, so that's really interesting to see in his return to the 4-1-2. And speaking of that, let's check out the weekly awards. So he had 7 touchdowns. My apologies. So if I said 8, I was wrong. Roethlisberger 16 for 20, 408 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 INT, and CJ Mosley had 3 tackles, 2 sacks, and he had 2 fumble recoveries, and they were both for touchdowns. So without further ado, we'll see you at kickoff.
From Toronto, Canada, it's week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Drew Brees and the Toronto Mounties taking on Jameis Winston and the Indianapolis Colts.
Alright, now it is kickoff time here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada at Scotiabank Field. And now we get to see Tariq Cohen of the Toronto Mounties ready to return his kickoff. And he does get stopped, though, at the 32-yard line. And Drew Brees and his Toronto Mounties will step onto the field for the first time in this episode. So we're going to do a simple pass play on 1st and 10. We're at the 32-yard line, so Drew Brees, he does get sacked, though, on the first drive of the game. So it's now going to be 2nd and 18 now. So we're going to use the PA sprint halfback flat on 2nd down and 18 from the 24. I hope I don't lose as much yards like I just did on that previous play. But I'm going to throw the football to Larry Fitzgerald, and he is still on his feet whatsoever. He runs into the end zone and gets it in there for a 6-point touchdown. So Larry Fitzgerald, he scores the first touchdown of the game, and the Mounties will lead at 7-0 here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Alright, now this is going to be a 1st down and 10 from the 32-yard line here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. As Marlon Mack, he runs the football. He only gains about 2 yards there. So last week he had 1 touchdown and 136 yards rushing. So now that's going to be a 2nd and 8 now. And Jameis Winston does get sacked by J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt whatsoever does get his first sack of the game. We're going to use some zone coverage here on the defense. Anyway, 3rd down and 20 now for the Indianapolis Colts. They throw the football. That's going to be incomplete. Alright, now we're ready to return the punt on 4th and 20. This will be Rodney Parker's NFL debut. So Rodney Parker, number 80, he is ready to return the punt here for the Toronto Mounties, and he is still on his feet whatsoever. He does get stopped at the 46-yard line. So Rodney Parker, the rookie from Florida, he returns that 36-yard punt return, and that is at the 46. So now I'm going to throw this to T.Y. Hilton. He gets stopped at the 28 there that time. So 2 for 2, 94 yards whatsoever. And this is now going to be a 1st down and 10. So we get to see Drew Brees. He's going to throw this to T.Y. Hilton, and he gets this easily into the end zone. And that will be T.Y. Hilton's first reception of the game. And it's now going to be 14-0 here at Scotiabank Field in Toronto. Alright, now this is going to be a 1st down and 10 from the 32-yard line here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. As Jameis Winston got pressured there, he still threw the football to Marlon Mack, and Marlon Mack made that reception. Anyway, First down and 10 from the 48-yard line here in Toronto, here at the Scotiabank Field. And now they're going to run the football with Marlon Mack. He gets stopped at the 49 for only about a gain of 3 yards, I'd say, on that play. And this is going to be a 2nd and 7 now. So he's going to throw this to Marlon Mack. The ball is out, and C.J. Mosley recovers, and he is still on his feet whatsoever. He is going to return this fumble, and he's going to get a touchdown. So they add 21 points in their first quarter. So let's check out that fumble recovery for a touchdown. So Jameis Winston, he threw the football to Marlon Mack, and then Marlon Mack loses the football. Thomas Davis Sr., their number 81, made the tackle, and then he made C.J. Mosley recovered it and got it in for the touchdown. So we'll see you guys in the second quarter. We're going to take a break. All right, now Bud Dupree, the former Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker, made that fumble recovery, and this will end the quarter, and it's going to be 21-0 here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So I'm just going to use a simple run play featuring Frank Gore, the running back, and I hand it off to Frank Gore, and he does get stopped at the 14 for a gain of 3 yards whatsoever. And we're going to use a PA comeback slide on a 2nd down and 7. So now Drew Brees, he's going to throw this to Rob Gronkowski, and he gets this into the end zone for a touchdown. First receiving touchdown of the game. And we will see you guys when we're on defense. Alright, now this is going to be a 1st and 10. That's going to be incomplete. So this will result in a 2nd and 10 now from the 28-yard line. So basically they're going to throw the football. That's going to be incomplete. Intended for Jack Doyle. That's an incomplete pass. That will now be a 3rd and 10 now from the 28-yard line. We have 114 passing yards in this game offensively, which is great to see. And it looks like he's going to get sacked. And the Colts do recover, but they won't make that 4th down a 1st down. So J.J. Watt with the sack. And Rodney Parker is ready to return the punt here for the Toronto Mounties, the University of Florida product. And Rodney Parker, he's just going to run the football, and he's going to get stopped at the 46-yard line. So that's going to be 27 yards per return there. And we're going to use the I form here. And we actually put in Rodney Parker as one of our wide receivers. So I'm going to throw this to Rodney Parker. That's going to be incomplete. But we have 136 yards in this game offensively by Drew Brees throwing-wise. So that's really impressive to see there. So now we see Rodney Parker. He's going to run for the football, and he gets his first career touchdown reception. And this will be his debut, and this will be a 26-0 lead here for the Mounties, and we're going to take a break. We'll see you guys after the 2-minute warning. All right, now 4th and 7 now, and we're at the 35-yard line, and we see Rodney Parker ready to return this punt for the Toronto Mounties. And Rodney Parker does get stopped, though, at the 36. And this is now going to be a 1st down and 10. So now we're going to use a Verts drag on a 1st and 10. So Drew Brees, he's going to throw the football. He's going to pass it to Ryan Potenza, and he actually catches it. So he's going to be down around the 9-yard line. 6 for 7, 245 yards, and 4 touchdowns in this game, surprisingly to see for Potenza, for Drew Brees. So we're going to use a Verts drag, and I'm thinking about using Larry Fitzgerald as my main receiver on this play. And Drew Brees does get sacked, and we are down at the 20. So I'm going to change up my roster here on this type. I'm not going to the depth chart or anything. And now I'm going to use some Isaac Bender, which he did really well last episode, which I will have the link to the video if you guys want to check that episode out. And he throws it to Isaac Bender, and Isaac Bender gets that touchdown reception for the Mounties. And this will be his first receiving touchdown, and it's now going to be 43-0 here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Okay, Chris Jones actually made a fumble recovery on the defense, and now we get to see Drew Brees throw the football. We're going to use the X-slant here, and Larry Fitzgerald, he gets that first down at the 9. So Drew Brees nearly has 300 passing yards in this game, so that's really impressive to see. And he's played in this league for 20 years. He got drafted in 2001 by the San Diego Chargers, the same year that LaDainian Tomlinson got drafted. And they spent some time together, and Larry Fitzgerald gets his second receiving touchdown, and it's now going to be 50-0. We'll see you guys in the second half. And Patrick Peterson makes a spectacular INT, and this will end the first half. We'll see you guys in the third quarter. Alright, now this is going to be a 1st down and 10 from the 36, beginning of the third quarter, by the way, here in Toronto. And now Marlon Mack is going to run the football. He catches a reception, and he's looking forward to getting his first touchdown of the game, and he gets stopped at the 20. So the Indianapolis Colts are in the red zone. So we're at the 20-yard line. We're ready to play some defense here, and hopefully I'd like to get a sack on this drive. And I actually do get that sack. So Carlos Dunlap claims his first sack of the game. And this is now going to be a 2nd and 17 now. So they're at the 27-yard line. So Jameis Winston gets sacked again. But this time it was Marcus May. So this will now lead into a 3rd down and 23 here for the Toronto Mounties. So Jermaine Powell strips the ball, and Malcolm Jenkins, he's going to run to the end zone. Nobody even wanted to tackle him there that time, and he got it in safe to the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown. We're going to attempt 2 points on a conversion, and then we're going to take a break. So look at Malcolm Jenkins run. He's just going to get it into the end zone safely, and we'll see you guys when we're back on offense. Okay, now this is the beginning of the fourth quarter, and this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 33, and it looks like Jameis Winston, he's going to throw the football. That's going to be an incomplete pass there, and it's now going to be a 2nd down and 10. So looks like Jameis Winston completes the pass. So he has 109 yards. So he's only 9 for 19. But it's now 3rd down and 3. So who knows? He might get sacked on this play. He might not. So he's going to throw it, and it's INT'd by Jimmy Smith. And Smith does get stopped at the 6-yard line. And that will be his 8th INT of the season. I think he might have 2, maybe 3 INTs returned for touchdowns. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Now we have Joe Flacco as our quarterback. I put in Joe Flacco for the fourth quarter, really, because I give credit to Drew Brees. Yes, he did so well out on that field. So I'm just going to let Flacco start for part of the fourth quarter until the game is over. So now I'm going to throw this to Rob Gronkowski, and he does get stopped, though, at the 38. So 2 for 2, 55 yards. So that's going to be a 21-yard reception there. And now we're going to use the PA Scissors pass play on the 1st down and 10. So Joe Flacco, he's going to throw this to Rodney Parker, and he catches it one-handed, and he scores his, I think, 2nd or 3rd touchdown, 38-yard touchdown, and it will now be 64-0 here in Toronto. We'll see you guys after the 2-minute warning. All right, now this is going to be a 4th and 10, And Rodney Parker, he's going to return the punt now for the Toronto Mounties. And look at Rodney Parker. He's going to return it. And he does get stopped at the 23-yard line whatsoever in this game. And he had 24 yards per return. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. And now this is going to be a 1st and 10. We're at the 23-yard line here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So Joe Flacco, he's going to throw this to Rodney Parker. So 4 for 4, 121 yards and 1 touchdown. So Indianapolis allowed 395 yards defensively rather. I mean, we had 395 yards total, and Rodney Parker, he gets that reception. He's down at the 10. Joe Flacco, 5 for 5, 160 yards. So we have a 433 total offensive yards. So we really didn't run the ball that much today. And they lost the football. And I think Ryan Potenza made that fumble recovery. And they're going to wind down the clock. So this is now still Toronto football. And the clock is winding down. So Joe Flacco, I'm just going to avoid the sack, hopefully. Hope I don't get sacked, and I do. And this ends the game. So all I want to say is thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for more content. Mounties win it 64-0. All right, now Drew Brees had a perfect passer rating. So did Joe Flacco of 158.3. 9 for 10 for Drew Brees. 5 for 5 for Joe Flacco. 289 yards for Brees. 160 for Flacco. 6 touchdowns for Brees. 1 for Flacco. And 2 INTs for Jameis Winston, by the way. And receiving-wise, Rodney Parker, he had 5 receptions, 193 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's the most from his debut. This is his first game in the NFL. Larry Fitzgerald had 3 receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns in this game. T.Y. Hilton had 1 touchdown. So did Rob Gronkowski, as well as Isaac Bender. And defensively, let's take a look at how many sacks we got. T.J. Watt had 2. Jermaine Powell had a sack. Marcus May, Carlos Dunlap, Kari Willis, Devin McCourty, Bobby Okirke all had 1 sack. Darren Lee, Kemko Turi, Chris Jones, and CJ Mosley all had 0.5 sacks. Jimmy Smith and Patrick Peterson both claimed INTs, but neither of them returned it for a touchdown. Fumble recoveries, Malcolm Jenkins, Bud Dupree, Chris Jones, and CJ Mosley all claimed them, but Jenkins and Mosley both got touchdowns out of it. So without further ado, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next episode.